Okay, so what I've done here, I've just updated the Moodle shell. We saw week 2, lecture 1 was there. Here's week 2, lecture 2. We started off with a little recap. I just went off on my entropy and information paper. I'll put that thing in there, and I'll put a couple other links in there that we just went over. So you have that, and then let's do these little EPA assignments. So I thought if we give each other some homework for tonight and Thursday, then maybe Friday we come in, excuse me, and work on the grant together a little bit. So what I thought I'd do is dig out my little draft. I just kind of sat down after class on Monday, decided I'd put a little time in on it. I think I put it under grants. October. I think the thing's due in October, and you'll still be in class. Are you still?
Yeah.
What's your anticipated graduation date?
It's basically
Spring?
December.
Oh, this fall?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are your plans after that?
That's a giant question mark.
Is it job,
Yeah,
school?
job.
Okay. Okay.
3 years ago, I thought I wanted to try graduate school at some time, but just really itching to get back into the workforce.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you. Yeah. I'm going to sit down with James Stevens this afternoon at Blue Marble, and I know they're going to have a big hiring push here in a little bit, and I'll see what's on their horizon. And Gary, when are you done with your master's?
I should be done next semester.
Okay. So you guys are here in the fall to maybe follow through with this a little bit?
Well, I have everything set up to go through spring, I hope.
Okay.
It just depends on whether or not I file for graduation in December.
Okay.
Which I probably won't till spring.
Okay. But
So I was kind of wanting to sit down with you and kind of run over what I needed to do to get the associate in the energy technology.
okay.
Because I've got,
I know you've taken a bunch of
I'm
classes.
taking physics.
Yeah.
I'm taking geometry, but I see I might have to get trigonometry with that one.
The trigs is another thing. You might already have enough credits for the certificate. Certificate's 30, the associate's 60, so we can look at that too. So anyway, I thought what we'd do, we would just be the little EPA P3 group here. As you can see, I do submit several proposals per year. Yeah, what's that? Yeah, I submitted, actually, this was just a little travel grant that I ended up getting, but this one fell through. Oh, this is the travel grant I got. This one, I did not. This one I did not. This was yours. We didn't get that one either. This is pretty standard. This one's still pending. 2013. These are the ones I submitted, and it was a pretty banner year.
What kind of format do you usually follow? Is there a standard format that you follow, or?
Yeah, I'll show you. In fact, I wanted to show you a little bit of some formatting tricks. Let me show you my NSF proposal. Every funding agency is different, and we're going to have to follow the EPA's guidelines. But the NSF is very strict in terms of their margins, lines per inch, font type, etc. This is what I've just kind of come up with for the National Science Foundation. And I mean, you're packing a lot of information into 15 pages. Might seem really long, but then when you look at all the junk you have to pack in there, it gets crazy. But this one was funded. You have to show them what you've done before with the money. You got to smack the reviewer right up front over the head with what you're going to do. The overall goal of the project, propose the National Foundation develop and improve our energy technology program by producing a coherent sequence of courses, upgrading laboratories, and providing work-based educational experiences for students. Pretty standard. I mean, what else do you do at the university? The goals will be reached by achieving the following 2 objectives. So we kind of tried to parse it down, outline a little bit. Upgraded course sequence, instructional methods, face-to-face, online, rural lab instruction, so our trailer we're putting out, industry-based education, apprenticeships, internships, Blackfeet Community College, MCPS, regional employers, pretty standard. We already partner with a lot of businesses, nonprofits, government, energy efficiency, sustainable, yeah. So here's one example of a table. Well, I call it a figure. What I put in, and I can show you how to not make these things hop around. In fact, we'll do this with this draft here in a second. What else? I've got another little figure in here. There's the timetable.
It really didn't matter with me for the Word program because everything I sent to him, he was using on Open Office online.
Yeah.
So he couldn't format none of the pictures or anything.
Oh.
So I basically had to read through everything he did and
Just pop it in, yeah.
Pop it in.
Yeah, I had the same issue with this book that I just submitted.
upset.
Yeah.
I had to do it,
Yeah.
So I just switched.
Well, it's a good looking finished product. I mean, you paid
I
off.
switched it all over to InDesign, which it took me probably an hour and a half messing with Office, and then I realized that, I'm not gonna do this, so.
Yeah. Well, I'll show you a couple of tricks now. So let's pull up our own EPA P3 draft. And I don't know exactly what the format's going to be, so I made it kind of generic for now. But let me show you one way to insert a figure. Let's do this. So, Lowe's Solar Lights Garden. We did one of these before.
You in Office there?
No, all I'm going to do is something like this. Copy image. So normally, I always do like a paste special. You can put it in as a bitmap. That's fine. And then here's the next thing. References. Insert caption. So if you haven't used insert caption before, I strongly recommend it. So this is going to be Lowe's lighting. Probably won't end up using. Now here's the next pretty handy thing. I like to do the Control-Shift-8. So Control-Shift-8
See all the paragraphs?
turns on all your meta characters. So the paragraphs, you can see the spaces. All the spaces are little dots. Tabs will be arrows. Control-E is going to center that thing. Now the next thing that should help, well, one is Control-E is going to center that. One thing that should help is you can see that I actually have a paragraph return after the image. So Word knows that whatever the heck is here is actually its own paragraph. So if you come up to paragraph, line and page breaks, I'm going to put keep with next. And it's going to keep that paragraph, that image, with the next line, and the next line is the caption. The caption always goes under it. And that's it. So now, if I'm tooling down and I get a page break in there, I won't have my figure caption on the next page and my image. I won't have to like go back, put in 50 returns that I'm gonna have to take out later because I edited upstream of that. That's,
Can you anchor that on the page? I know there's a way that.
don't do it, man. Don't anchor it. And do this too, because that's where you get in trouble, starting to anchor it. Here's what you want to do. Wrap text, you just want to have it in line with text.
Okay, see, because I actually formatted the columns in the Word program, the 2 columns that I had.
Yeah.
And then I put my table in, and the table kept moving around, so
Yeah.
I put my picture in.
Yeah.
And the picture kept moving around.
Yeah.
The words kept moving, and I was,
Yeah, here's another fix for the table. Let me show you.
because if I could have anchored that right where it was at, it wouldn't move, so my words would move around with it.
Okay.
See, because now if you're in a paragraph,
Watch, yeah.
put some words up above it, put like 5 lines up above it, and you're gonna shift down.
Okay, watch this though. Here's copy. I've got my table in this document. Now I'm going to come over here, paste, special. I'm going to paste as a picture. So I don't know if this is what you mean by anchoring now, but now I've got this table and insert, no, references, insert caption, and I'm going to put in a table caption now. Hey, it's actually our P3 matrix. P3 matrix, Nash style, something like that. We'll just call it something like that. So what I can do with this table now is the same thing, is go, or I can even, if you right-click, paragraph, keep with next. So now that this, and you see that little black dot right there? It means that you've got some special formatting on this paragraph, because the black dot, I've got the image staying with next, and I've got the table caption staying with next. So now if I come in here and put in some gobbledygook, et cetera, they'll stay where they are. Does that help? I mean, putting the table in as an image helps a lot.
That wasn't my problem.
Okay.
My problem is, okay, so now I want to take and add another picture into the text up above and make the text flow through. When I added that in, the picture, the whole thing moves down. So I wanted it to stay right there on the page where I placed it.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's why I was thinking if I anchored it, it wouldn't move.
Yeah. Well, another thing you can try, I'll show you. So,
Thank you, you just showed me something.
sure, absolutely, yeah. Okay. Another thing you can try, now, here's, let me think here. I'm going to paste it right here, so it's kind of like part of that paragraph. See, that's kind of weird, nasty, it's like one giant letter. But, and this is a little trickier, but sometimes you can pull it off, is do square. And now I can kind of like micro tune it with the arrows. And I'm just using the left arrow here, using the up arrow, using the right arrow. You can sometimes pull this off. And then you have to kind of strategically place your figure, whoops.
That's why I love InDesign, it's so much easier,
Yeah,
but it's really costly.
yeah. So, that's another way to deal with
See,
it.
you've got your anchor there, what's your anchor mean? Over there
Oh.
on the page. How did you get that? Object anchor. Anchored to the text, oh, it's anchored to the text.
Yeah, and I think because it is, it is in line with text, it's square. So I think any of these square, tight, through, or top and bottom, are anchored, those are types of anchors.
What's your more layout options down there? Because I just wanted to anchor it right there to the page. I didn't want to anchor it to the text.
Oh, then you do in front of text.
Okay,
You can put it wherever you-
I wanted the text to wrap around it.
Well, then you gotta do one, then you have to anchor it. Then you have to square it, tight it, through it, top and bottom. You have to pick one of those. Those are your only choices.
I did all that, but every time I seemed to put something above it, it would move that freaking picture around.
Yeah.
Angered me to no.
It won't, it's not gonna anchor it on the page. The only way to anchor it on the page is to put it in front of or behind the text. If you want to, otherwise you have to anchor it to the text, which is these, square, tight, through, top and bottom.
Maybe if I uncheck the move with text, because you were checked with move with text down there, fixed position on the page. What that is.
That's the same as in front of text. You can see when you fix the position on the page, it also does in front of text. I guess you could try behind.
Which you'd have to change all of everything out. That'd be neat for if you wanted to put like pictures and then right over the picture.
Yeah, but like I said, it's usually best, even with this table, to paste the table in as a picture. It might seem kind of weird and counterintuitive, but it's pretty handy, because you can resize it really, just however you want the thing, it's still legible. Okay, so that's enough on formatting. Let's give each other some assignments for the EPA P3.
What have we basically decided on?
Well, I think what we've decided on is something that we're going to manufacture locally, and something that is that easy entry point. Remember how Paul was sitting over here and he's like, not everyone's going to buy a big old trailer, right? We happen to have one. We're not going to sell that. Let's just sell them something that kind of already exists, but that we put a subtle little twist on. And the twist is your garden light does more than just light your garden. Your garden light charges your phone. It's connected to a little microgrid at your house. So it's sort of smartening up your dumb light. Your nice but not so smart light. We voted, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
The snowcat lost. I mean,
I
yeah.
don't want to do something. It wasn't at all.
Because we reviewed all of the other schools' projects, and some were pretty sophisticated. This one, I think, is appropriate. We've already, we built the whole solar car over here by soldering solar cells one at a time together. We've got a sweet 3D printer now, so we could even make a Grizz logo thing if we wanted to. We can do a little bit of marketing. I think we've got the telephone line idea. I want to bring some in and do a little experiment on that. But it's entry level. It's a starter kit for your own little microgrid, and it's I know we're going to see dedicated low voltage microgrid systems. I mean, I bet my butt it's already happening. So here's our assignments.
You're going to move the pictures, document the describe what it is. It's good last time.
Well, I know that we were doing the trailer, we were doing the PV yard lights.
Yeah.
There was some talk of the groundhog wind turbines, and then there was talk of like having the trailer, instead of scaling the trailer up for like a large FEMA disaster,
Mhm.
you take it and scale it down to like a suitcase-sized pack run, which would actually be really good for renters.
Mm.
If you could tell the renters, look, you're gonna save this much money on your power bill,
Mhm.
if you get this, it'll pay for itself in like a month or 2 months,
Mhm.
3 months, 4 months. because people, lease for a year. So you got a suitcase full of like these little PV cells that you set out on your yard or even in
Yep.
your window
Yep.
for the daytime. And they charge to capacity. Once they're to capacity, you're gonna have a circuit which shuts them off so they're not overcharging the batteries. And then once they get charged up, you walk in your house, you pick it up out of your window, you can carry it around at night, switch it on and off. You could, you could have your little windmill sitting out in your yard when your sun's not shining, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're looking at just the light, the solar panel light.
I think so. I think the micro wind turbine's a little much.
Well,
Yeah.
I was just saying that there was talk about the different things, and I know we did something in effect for the trailer, and we talked about the windmills, and we had talked about the little light thing, so I didn't know what.
Yeah.
we were going at.
Yeah. I think if we did or.
I'm good with it all. If
Sure.
we're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
go after the lights, we're gonna go after the lights.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I know there was like a couple of, it was a different package.
Yeah. That's what it was. I think
Well, could you?
Oh, this is different.
Something different.
Oh, this was a different. I think I just put the week 1, lecture 3. Oh, here it is. Yeah, here's our selection matrix. Yeah, this is our bring inside dedicated low voltage. So kind of what you're saying. If it turns into a suitcase, great.
Well,
But what, I think
you
we,
get one, you can get a couple of them.
yeah, I think what we also designed is, we already have an emergency power trailer. What we could do is use it as a little home simulator and say that,
Could you like pull this thing up to your home and power everything in your home off of it? Which would take probably doing the studies on how much power you get out of it, which is pretty much already there. Reed did that.
Yeah.
This last week.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago.
yeah.
With the 4 batteries, but not the 4 more than.
Yeah, we're still kind of hung up on PayPal and credit card stuff with that, but it's kind of, all right, so. we're
That was
good.
my question, was, are we gonna implicate anything with the trailer into our proposal?
I think we will. I think we'll say that the trailer will be there on site demonstrating the solar and power. I think that's just kind of a bonus. That's what we did in Houston. Everyone else just kind of showed up with their trailer box, and we showed up with ours that had, live working energy systems in it. So I think that should be a bonus, absolutely.
Kind of use it as a reference point. You can scale, we first initially thought that it would be nice to scale it up for hurricane relief or disaster relief, fire relief, even the mobile fire commands. They all use big, high-powered generators. So have you ever seen one of the little fire cities? They're pretty big.
Oh, yeah.
So, you've got a big, huge,
You have those like yurts with like computer beds inside of them.
yeah, you got a huge capacity of being able to market something like that,
Mhm.
scaled up or scaled down. So use that kind of as our big suitcase, and, you could basically scale this down into a little suitcase. Okay, so I've got this motion detector sensor camera on the side of my house, hooked to my solar panel, but one day the sun really didn't shine, and I really don't have the aspect to gather all that, so I've got this little tiny wind turbine that's just designed to run off of this, so you've got both of them running in tandem. Somehow you're gonna have to design a cheap circuit in there that will turn it off when the batteries are charged, otherwise you just be melting batteries.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, charge controller, for sure.
But
Okay.
that was my deal with the wind turbine, because I thought that it would be a little bit novel, because solar.
You just want like a little mini wind turbine.
Yeah, I don't want nothing big, I just want a little, you just take a little thing you stick in the ground to keep the gophers out spinning. It spins
pretty high speed, but. it's not
Do you have a design in particular in mind, or?
Well, you'd have to actually design it. I was just gonna use the design off of this windmill that you built in here. Put a couple of magnets on the rotary of the little plastic windmill.
Yeah.
Set your copper wire in the middle and just see what you can get out of it. But that's experimenting.
So you're thinking just like maybe, because this guy, the one of the trailers rated for a kilowatt, and it might do 200 watts, 300 watts on a reasonable day. It's been as high as 500. That's 20 feet in the air. If you're talking something that's just on the ground, I mean,
You're just not gonna be able to get.
you're thinking, I mean, this is gonna be like sub 10 watts for sure. I mean, you're gonna be in the ones to tens of watts, which, it's better than nothing. It's kind of like, our own 10 kilowatt turbine, it's probably only at 6% capacity. We could throw, I've been fascinated with trying to get a little micro wind turbine going for a while, but it seems like it's one extra level beyond the PV we can already do.
Well, I'm just saying, you can add that in or not add it in.
Mhm.
I'm just more fascinated with wind turbines myself.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, basically all we're gonna have to do is, but you're right, you go down to Lowe's, you buy these little PV things,
Mhm.
you stick it in the ground and you just basically put a hanger on it or a hook, so you can take it in your house and put it on a stand in your house.
Mhm.
Which might go good with your plastic reclamation.
Yeah.
Because if you could make these out of recycled plastics,
Mhm.
you're gonna save a whole bunch more, and that's,
Mhm.
so.
Yeah.
But would that work with the?
Local plastics, yeah.
P3 grant, because it looked like it can't be funded otherwise than that, or can't already have funding. I thought.
Well, let's take a look here. Wide range of categories: water, energy, agriculture, built environment, materials, and chemicals. So we certainly have energy. I think we have built environment in there, and then materials for sure. Categories of clean cook stoves and green infrastructure were added. I think we're in the green infrastructure too. Okay. Two-phase team contest. In the spring, and why was I thinking fall? In the spring, all teams submit their reports and proposals and then bring their, maybe this is I think phase one is due in the fall.
Phase one is fall.
Phase one's fall, yeah, so in the spring, the phase one winners submitted, okay. Let's keep reading here. $90,000 to further design and move it to the marketplace. That would be sweet. That would be excellent. That would be a big deal. We're eligible, higher institution, undergrad, permitted, okay.
Details are in
Apply now, okay, cool. All right, so that's the overview. Let's go for apply now. Okay, so it opens in August to September, remains open for 3 to 4 months. So it'll be closed, so we should plan on submitting in like November or December. How to apply. Let's open the PowerPoint. Enable editing. Okay, your target audit. So external peer reviewer, so some other, like, another professor is probably going to read this, or the head of some energy company is going to read this. Relative to the criteria, so we got to look at VA2. Or 5A2, right? VA2, that's what assignment. Oops.
I say we just review all of that and kind of troubleshoot our designs, but that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
How long is that?
Yeah, let's find it here. So you got to follow the Clean Water Act, output, something tangible. Okay. These determine which peer, okay, so we're gonna be in one of these categories. This is section IE.
What's a clean cook stove?
Probably a solar oven, I would guess, be an example. Only one PI, needs to be a faculty member, that's me. Public institutions, community college eligible, nice, submit more than application, cannot be independent. Use the standard application package. Save as, documents, grants, 2014, October EPA. How to apply? I don't know why I'm not able to click on that bad boy. Oh, we'll find it. Okay, mandatory documents from grants.gov. Application, project narrative, EPA key context, budget information. So let's look at the project narrative. Abstract. Grants.gov. Come on, baby. There's a new rule that all grants have to go through this one clearinghouse site, so. EPA, P3. How many, what's that?
P13.
38 space modulator.
So, Bugs Bunny's little alien that comes down.
P-38 space modulator will destroy the world.
P-38 is a little camel. It's not there.
Uh-uh. Oh, shoot, maybe it's not available yet. Hang on, let's try again.
Sustainable fisheries projects in Ghana.
People, prosperity, and planet. Search. Ghana, yeah, there it is. Well, I don't, you know what, I don't see it. Let's do this.
Past solicitations, how to apply peer review.
I want to fire something off here.
There will be some sort of peer review. You do want to, sorry.
Go ahead.
We do want to have some sort of like your practicum document you set up, you want to have some sort of place in there where you got peer review documents of, sort of quasi solar panel stuff.
Oh, you're thinking of two different things. One is that we'd like to have peer-reviewed references in our document. The other one is that the proposal itself that we're sending out is going to be peer-reviewed, yeah.
But no, I was thinking, we want to have some sort of, we want to show them that we've done some sort of background.
Oh, hell, yeah. And you guys did a really nice job on your compressed air, by the way. It's good research.
It took me all of about 2 hours.
It was good.
That was my goal, because he was doing all the other stuff, fighting with losing his information, because he kept putting it out on the internet and saving it. I was like, well, instead of doing a whole day's work again, why don't you go try to find this other stuff? I'm just gonna get it done now. I hate it when that stuff. That's crowds during the computer classroom.
Link. Just request for application. Oh, I'll throw some doctoral weight around there, don't worry. How about that? Love it. Dink, dink. Send comments. All right, so here's our assignments for next time. Leighton, find RFA. What do you guys want to look into on this thing?
I'm kind of concerned about the technical
I'm-
feasibility of it,
Okay.
Well, that's
like whether it's actually going to be able to, you're storing a charge, obviously, from the PV, this little device, you're going to bring it inside, you're going to hook a bunch of them up together. But how much voltage are you really going to be able to generate? You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. Whether it's just going to sit there and not do what you hope.
And it's going to be, you're going to have to, if you want people to be able to plug in regular charging cords, you're going to have to convert it from DC to AC, right?
Well, that's where I think the buck has to stop. I think we're just going to stay straight
Just the
12.
lights.
Yeah.
With just the lighting. And, the difference between, like we talked about, early incandescents or, second generation fluorescence, or are we gonna go just strictly with an LED?
Mhm.
Lighting, and, we have to design something that's going to radiate.
The other thing we could consider is focusing just on the microgrid and not on the take inside PV, but maybe that's a pretty big change.
The microgrid it's being done though. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for something novel that we can take that's already out there and transform it over. If you have a microgrid, you just set your solar panel up in your yard and capture all of that in your batteries and use that during the night. I mean, I know a girl that I'm dealing with doesn't have any electric. She won't pay for a transformer to put in her house. She's got, 5, 10 solar panels sitting out beside her little cabin shack,
Yeah.
and she goes and heats her hot water. I think it powers her stove at nighttime. But if we try to look at hooking something microgrid, then we're right back to basically the trailer setup that we were looking at. Because you just, you could roll that trailer up to somebody's house and they could plug their cord into it and use it just as is. I'm assuming that that's what you're wanting to look at. So if we just narrow everything down and not look at all of the big spectrum, we just look at lighting and solar panels and how can we make it portable and viable? So we're not shooting in offhand directions.
So let's, okay, so let's look at incandescent, early versus incandescent, and then we should all research existing systems a little bit.
Yeah. I would suggest that when you're researching something, cite it as you're in the page before you leave, because it's just easier to find it if you have the site.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Find
I mean, even if you
RFA.
just cut and paste the URL.
Sure. I'd kind of like to, I think I've got a few kicking around. Bring in old yard lights. We can do a little multimetering here. Find old cells. Yeesh. Through there at Montech. There might be a big stack of them still sitting in ground. Do any of you guys have an interest in like learning to do some 3D printing? Like learning to make an STL file? Is that a life goal, life skill?
Learn about it.
Okay, I'll just say, find an let's just have you first find some STL file to print, and we'll just start there. Find an STL file. And let's just do something that's about the size of one of these little lights. Maybe someone's already got something out there. We just have, what's his name?
I wish I had bought that, but it was a candle holder.
Mm.
Actually, it was a bird feeder.
Mm.
Okay, so it's got a plate on the bottom, like a plate here on the bottom, and it's got a plate on the top, and it just collapsed down on itself.
Yep.
And it's got a handle on it. You pull the handle up, and it would pick itself up to like this.
It holds water.
It has a wire screen in it
Mhm.
around there, so the bottom doesn't fall off.
Mm-hmm.
But I was thinking that would be the simplest thing, because you could take your little plate like that and set it out, but the only problem is when you lift it up, where's the light bulb gonna go? So you have to have some sort of space in there, so you have your bulb.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking like a refrigeration unit that has it, instead of sticking down, it has it sticking sideways.
That's kind of slick. Yeah, I've seen drinking cups like that before. So here, we'll put you on that one too. Brainstorm hardware designs. How about that? Brainstorm hardware designs. I'm going to find the RFA, bring in some more lights, find some old cells, bring in phone cord and multimeter. Let's also, do you want to try a patent search too?
Try it.
Why don't you give a patent search a shot? And then we'll do it together on Friday also. I can show you I can show you a patent that I have, and I'll show you another patent that I have that's pending. And so if we do come up with something novel here, I think it'd be a pretty cool outcome of Energy Finance 2014 to have a patent application. Heck yeah, it's only $300. Have the university pay for it?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that enough to do? Okay. So yeah, for sure, when you find your reference, bookmark it. I've just got this little, well, I guess this isn't it. Did I put the draft there? Yeah, here's the draft. And I have a couple references in already. I got Lovins, and I got Nash, and we'll just keep knocking them through there. I keep all of these